President Biden pushing his inflation reduction plan in California. Terrible timing after that ugly inflation report that came out today. Look who's here. California guy Larry Elder is back. Larry, who thought this was a good idea? Biden promotes his Inflation Reduction Act on the very day inflation hits a record.
Right, and also bad timing. He's coming to L.A. right in the middle of probably the biggest political scandal maybe in the history of this city. You have all these council members. And by the way, Stu, city council in L.A., 15 members, not a single Republican. These are four city leaders, including a union leader. And they're all talking about anger over districting. And the premise is that there is a sentencing commission, a redistricting commission that has meted out areas in L.A., and these councilpersons are angry because they feel that Latinos are underrepresented here in California, in L.A. L.A. is 50% Hispanic, but only about a third of city council is Hispanic, and therefore, in an era of diversity, inclusion, and equity, they feel this is not equitable. Premise is, if you are Hispanic, you should have a Hispanic leader. If you're black, you should have a black leader, and so forth. How incredibly, incredibly insulting.
But that's,
and the racism
that's California.
Flew.
That is California. That's the country, isn't it, really? Identity politics rules all.
However, the premise is that Republicans are racist. Here you have all of these four Hispanic political leaders making racist comments about blacks, racist comments about white people. There's a fellow councilman named Mike Bonin who happens to be gay. He was called the word that rhymes with witch, and he was criticized for having a black adopted child that they said he used as a lawn jockey. I mean, it was jaw-dropping, the stuff that they said. And Biden has weighed in, Stu, and said they all ought to resign. This is a guy, Joe Biden, who once said to Charlemagne the God, "You ain't really black if you don't want to know, if you don't want to vote for me or Trump," and said about Barack Obama, the first clean, articulate black guy, and said about Mitt Romney to black people, he wants to unchain Wall Street, wants to put y'all back in chain. So he's had his own issues on this front. Pot, meet, kettle. I mean, it's incredible, Stu. It's just incredible.
As I understand it, the LA City Council president has resigned, but the others involved in that conversation have not yet. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct. At first, she resigned from the presidency, but wouldn't resign from the city council. But now she has. The other two have not. And by the way, L.A. city council persons, Stu, are paid the highest of any city council persons in the country. They get a $100,000 slush fund. They have access to millions of discretionary funds, free health care, free post-retirement health care, and large staff that are paid for by taxpayers. What a great job, which is why these people have not resigned.
And they are all Democrats, I believe. Correct? No,
there isn't a single Republican on city council. There's one independent. All the rest of them are Democrats.
Oh, well, that's California, and the president must be embarrassed by visiting Los Angeles on the very day this happens. Larry, I'm sorry I'm out of time. I could talk about this all day. Come back and see us soon, okay? Larry Elder, good stuff.